Good afternoon and welcome to MtMtE. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers Studio Series 86, the Movie Bonecrusher, the Constructacon Bulldozer, which I am really excited to bring to you today. I have all three of them right here, a nice little trinity of Constructicons. We've got Bonecrusher, we've got Scrapper, and we've got Hauler, because Hauler's currently the leader of them. I like the storyline that Hauler is actually a member of the Constructicons who was just out sick on the day that the Constructicons got switched over from Autobot to Decepticon by Megatron's weird little tentacle machine thing. Ugh, that was such a creepy machine. But yeah, this is a I have Road Hauler, and I've been waiting for Road Hauler to get his friends, and now he's got his friends. Yay! Road Hauler's so excited. Okay, so we're gonna set Road Hauler, just knocking things over here at Blind_Prime. We're just going to set Road Hauler over here and bring out our little Bumblebee for a little bit of a size comparison getting into this video. And please go below and hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping me out. That's for sure. Turns out, a blind person making slightly fuzzy videos and not always being having everything in focus as doesn't really allow for my videos to get shared very often. Many people most likely look at a blurry part of the video and go, "Ah, ew, gross! I'm never watching that." So if you could help me out there, that'd be amazing, because the videos, I don't mind it when they go blurry, because that just gives you the opportunity as the person who can see to just have a moment where you can't see well. And that is an awareness moment. That is a moment that lets you know this is something that that the blind and the visually impaired go through all the time, not being able to see. So, when my screen fuzzes out, or the autofocus just goes on to something stupid, you just take that as an opportunity for awareness right there. You can just take a moment and put your foot in the foot of a visually impaired person and go, "Oh wow, that's what they see all the time." I mean, it's not exactly, but it's close. It's close enough for understanding to occur, in my opinion. So let's get back to this. So we're going to set Bumblebee. Well, first off, I already showed this off, but look at that. Look at that wonderfulness. You can just wrap his arm around the Bumblebee. Ah, Kream! Why? Bumblebee! Bumblebee! Help me! Get away! Go away! Go away! I'm trying to do a video, Kream. You're showing everybody your butthole. Get out. Good God, cat. You were... Thank you for at least not sleeping through today's video, I guess. Alright, we're going to set Bumblebee off down there to the side. Now, we've got these two guys together, and Scrapper and Bonecrusher are about the same height. There's not much difference between the two when it comes to height. When it comes to weight, I'll give Scrapper... No. They feel like they weigh almost the same. Okay, so that's kind of neat. So we're going to set Scrapper, the guy who shouldn't have cost $10 extra, off over here to the side. We're just going to set him right there. Squeeze him right next to Primus. Yeah, and I got Megatronus over here on the far edge of the screen. I hope that's the far edge of the screen. I got my Megatronus. I like Megatronus. Okay, Megatronus is one of the best figures of the year so far. He's just a lot of fun. He's a fun guy. We'll talk about him next week, because I need to talk about him. So this is Bonecrusher. And Bonecrusher doesn't have a waist articulation, but that's okay in my opinion, because I don't really remember them ever seeing them rotate at the waist in the show. I thought these guys were pretty lackluster when it came to flexibility. Look. They're big, strong dudes, so their strength and constitution's through the roof, but their dexterity isn't there. So I'm not expecting these to be, all nimbly bimbly like a cat. I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting some really amazing features like kung fu action or stuff with Bonecrusher, because Bonecrusher's not known for getting into fist fights. He's known for building stuff, for shooting his gun occasionally, for running his mouth, and then for combining together with the rest of them to form Devastator. He's not really known for hi-ya or choo, yeah, cha-cha-cha-cha. No, he's not known for that stuff. He's just not. That's not his forte. He is a construction guy. You know what? Go to any construction site ever and ask one of those construction guys to do some martial arts and all twisty motions and stuff like that. I bet you some of them can do it, but not all of them. Um, Actually, with the crazy articulation and stuff, I'd give it more to Scrapper than Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher just always just seemed like a big beefy guy. Now, that's a bit about that. So let's get into this robot mode actually, in depth. First off, we'll go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, or the elebot in the room, and his legs. Okay, so many people have talked about his legs. I've been watching some reviews on it and stuff, trying to figure out like what should I talk about here. And a lot of people talk about his legs. They don't like them. They think they're maybe too long or too skinny. And I want to say they're the length they need to be in order to make an accurate vehicle mode. They are the width they need to be, because if these were fatter, then when you changed them into vehicle mode, the treads would look like they're too big for that vehicle mode. This goes along lines of me wanting the vehicle modes to be slightly larger, and this would be an example of if the vehicle mode was slightly larger, then these treads would slightly be larger. But his tread legs are still awesome. And this is why you can't have a Devastator that has treads that actually work, because two members of Devastator use the treads as legs, and that doesn't really work very well for these guys. So, and luckily it's the two arm people, the crane and the bulldozer have the treads. Everybody else has got the wheels. So, coming from the bottom of the feet like we normally do. Not any, well, there's a siege peg port on the bottom of each of them, but there's not really much waffling going on here. I like that. Actually a little bit of an indent, and it's got some texture in it. That's nice. It's like the indent between the treads, just on the underside of the toe. So that's pretty cool. It makes it feel like the treads spread out. And it does kind of feel like the tread texture goes it goes all the way under the feet and then comes back, sorry, it comes back around to the other side. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. And excuse the coughing and stuff. Turns out when you're quitting death sticks, you're going to just be hacking stuff up for like a week, or you're just going to randomly cough every now and then. I'm like, I coughed far less when I was on the death sticks. But it should clear up in about a week or two. Anyway, update on the death stick thing. Doing well. Got my patch on. Yeah. All right. So coming up here to the legs from the top of the feet, we've got more tread texture. There's also a knee, and they didn't do something fun with the knee to make it seem like treads bending or scraping. It's just a knee. And it's actually kind of it's not really the best knee. Like, I wish they had put something in there to make it feel a little better. I mean, that is a nice little piece of plastic there to kind of give them a kneecap or a knee brace, but it's at the top instead of the bottom, which is not too normal. You can also lock the knees if you want to, but I don't like to. I like to keep them just slightly unlocked. It's healthier that way. And then there is articulation in the foot. So we got ankle tilt and knee bends at a 90, and back to the explanation of the textures. So we've got this nice little tread textures going up all the way, and we've got some really, really cool feeling stuff on the side, little lines, little bitty wheels for the treads, and it's some nice detail. It's definitely a little more detailed than Scrapper, honestly, my opinion. He feels like he's got more detail than Scrapper. Now we're moving over here to the core from the legs, because there's not really much going on. We can also kick the legs off on either side. Can you move your arm, please? Thank you, sir. What happened here? What's going on with this leg? Okay, there you go. Yeah, see, he can do the splits. Now find me another construction worker that can do the splits. That's pretty good. Now he can also kick all the way up. He's got a good kick up. Like, he can almost kick himself in the face if he just didn't have such a chunky bod. He can also kick all the way back. And can you kick yourself in the back of the head? No, your legs aren't long enough to kick yourself in the back of the head. But he can do pretty good. He can do pretty good, in my opinion. So, let's move up here to the body. Now, he does not have waist rotation, but that's okay, because like I said, he's a Constructicon. I'm not going to pose him like bent, leaning to his left on that waist rotation, and like squatting down and shooting something that's off over there somewhere. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to pose him like that. He's mainly just going to be posed either carrying stuff or shooting at Autobots. He's not known for being the best at this stuff. I'm playing with the hand because these hands are weird. They are very weird. Very, very weird hands. They're very weird arms. So let's move over here to the front area. And we've got a wonderful little a bit of work going on here with the collapsed bucket for his bulldozer mode. Good grief. There's even some really well done little etchings up here at the top. It gives his chest a really nice feel. It's this little archway that they managed to etch into the bucket for his his bulldozer mode. Whoa! I forgot the word bulldozer twice now. Good grief, Max. All right. Moving over here to the side, we've got some other great textures on the side of the bulldozer blade, though it's more like a little bucket because it comes down in a little L shape with sides. So it's just a smaller version of the bucket that Scrapper comes with. And what else about this guy? Moving up over here to the arm, we've got some really great arm textures going on here. And then we get to the elbow here, and his elbow's pulling 90, though he can, like, backwards pull a 90 as well. I mean, it's a weird elbow. It's a weird elbow. Though, I do, like just about everybody else, wish that they had managed to figure out, like, making the transformation and the elbows and stuff all on the right side. So, say, if you spin him around and you use the back of his arm, he's got double jointed elbows. But if you use the front of his arm, he's only got one joint. Kream! Kream! Will you stop devastating the Transformers? Who did you take out? Who did you take out? Aw. Did you take out... You took out Prima? No. Yeah, you took out Prima. Bad Kream. Bad Kream. Taking out the first Autobot. Alright, now, let's continue talking about this guy. So that's the arms. There's some there's a gap up here at the top, and that isn't a gap for a siege port. That is just a giant square gap. Big old gap right there in the side of the forearm, which just is not nice. I don't like it. I don't like that gap being there. And I was like, oh, I'll just spin it around to the other side. No, there's even more gaps on the other side of the upper arm. So I just don't. What's wrong with you today? Sometimes he doesn't interact enough, and then sometimes he interacts a lot. So that's the arms. There's not really much to talk about wise here. We also have this hand etched in there. Decent. Not really much to talk about there either. There's not a lot of texture except on the upper arm where we've got some really intricate sculpt work happening there. Some little molding detail and stuff like that. And not really much for the lower arm, though. Now, come over here to the head, and we've got his wonderful sunglasses. He's also got that little bit of a baseball cap kind of at the top of his head, where it's this little bill that comes out just a bit. Good grief. Man, I'm done with this stupid hacking stuff up that doesn't actually hack up. All right. Then we're coming over here to his head. He's got that nice little helmet. And then we run around here to the back, and he's got one of the cleanest backpacks ever. He's just got this thing that makes up part of the combination mode folded up on his back. Very, very nicely done. And I think if I had to give this guy a grade, I'd give this robot mode an A. He gets a flat A. Will you just not, sir? Will you just not? Please? Thank you. Okay. Well, that is Bonecrusher. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making it. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.